Oh my goodness, does Jack Campbell know how to lose? Hey, look, man, I said it, I just want somebody to pull ahead with this, somebody to get past, get the team past the goalie controversy, so to speak, the goaltending situation. It's not even a topic anymore, so thank goodness, right? Now we're on to more important things, which is things like, why isn't Tavares scoring? That's always been a problem this year, but now it's really on focus, I thought there was good defensive play this time around, and I'm telling you, what a game from Winnipeg as well, too. I'm dead serious. We got to watch out for these guys this year, Which one am I going? There you go. We got to watch out for these guys, man. They've been there all season long, just right nipping at our heels, making sure that if we start to slip up at all, they start gaining ground. And it's really, really annoying. So they must be working hard if they're annoying us, right? So again, much respect to Winnipeg fans, especially one fan in particular that I kind of was a little hard on Instagram. And you know what? He did a classy thing though. He came by, checked it out, and followed along. So I don't need to get into names. I'm not trying to start no beef here, right? I just had something to say and I said it, and the man did a respectful thing by following along. So much respect to you. I hope you enjoyed the game, regardless of the fact that your Jets didn't win. Because I'm telling you right now, your team is going to be the one to watch out for in the North, okay? We may look like we're number one when we hit the playoffs, like I don't know, right? We might still be there, and even if we're not, we might be playing like a number one team. By the time we get to the playoffs, I think that's what's going to happen for the Leafs. But I swear to you, Winnipeg will not go away this season. And usually the team that doesn't go away is the one that somehow by the end rises above, and that's what's got me nervous. That's what's got me nervous, okay? When you've been slighted every single step of the way, you try to grab that number one spot, it gets to you, man, and it gets you either down in the dumps or it gets you to championship level mentality of rising above. I don't know what the future holds for the Jets, but straight up, we cannot take our eye off them, okay? Stop letting them fly under the radar, okay? Let's all start watching the Jets games, okay? Start putting the pressure on them. Right? Start having the TV ratings go up for the Jets. Start having the people talk about the Jets in the media more. Let's all talk about the Jets a lot more, okay? Let's get in their heads, right? Let's put the pressure on them, because either they're going to rise above and really show us something special, or we could psych them out and then maybe they just go on a nosedive. Lord knows Toronto's done that enough times in the past. Am I right? Stingray, thank you. Thanks for that. Oh my goodness, I love those things. I'm glad they start kicking in. That first one, again, I'm so sorry whoever it was that was following along, but the first one I missed, but these two now, just, it's hilarious. And the subscriptions and all that stuff, the cheers, and you even heard the John Cena thing kicking in the chat as well too. There's all kinds of ways to freak me out, guys. But you know who's not freaked out? Jack Campbell, apparently. Now, guys, I don't know, I don't know if he still has the longevity to be a starter, right? Because what you really need to see from a goalie is how they bounce back from a loss, or two losses in a row in particular. If a goalie never lets it really get past two games before they're back on track, because they're like, they had to slip up, but they got themselves out of it. Right on. Oh, geez. Mitchie boy, thank you. But depending on how you can get out of two games, sorry, because the alert scared me. Depending on how you can get out of a 2-game loss or something like that, right? That's when we'll finally know if Jack Campbell has the goods to be a starter that can actually take us into the playoffs, a starter that can make a run for it. But I will say this, okay? Because I'm a man of my word, right? I told you that if Jack started playing, got us enough wins in his time here as starter, we got to give him the net. So that means, I think as of now, I think he's earned a spot that if Freddie comes back tomorrow to be a starter, if Jack Campbell is 100% healthy and good to go, because that's the other part of it, he does deserve that net, guys, until further notice. He's 8-0, okay? And in sports, sometimes you just can't question why things are happening. You got to just stick with what's happening, okay? And what's happening is Jack Campbell in net, W on the board. If Hutchinson was doing the same thing right now, I'd be saying the same thing about him, and you know how much I don't think he's an NHL quality goalie, right? You know that. But if the same thing was happening to Hutch right now, I'd be saying the same thing, okay? It gets to the point where you're just like, look, I can't question it. I can't question why the Leafs played defensively better in the past 2 games, right? I can't explain why their offensive chances don't seem so forced and desperate, but rather like, you know, in control. I can't justify it. I don't know what's happened up here with all these guys, okay? But something has happened here for sure. It's all mental. It always has been with them. So in a sense, I always knew that was the case, but it's anyone's guess how you come out of that. And I'm not a professional athlete. I know if I was down in a bit of a slump or something like that, you know what I mean? I'd be calling it quits. I'd be like, I can't do this. The whole world's against me. I'd be one of those guys knocking sticks over on the way to the back room and stuff, having an absolute meltdown. You know what I mean? And then somehow be a journalist later on talking about goaltending or something like that. Or even one of the players for that matter and everything, right? So, yeah, I know, Cooks, you were saying that, you know, Campbell was limping at some point. The commentators even mentioned it. We don't know if that's existing still or if that was yet another thing that happened today. I don't know. But man, between him and Freddie, we need somebody, man. We need somebody to just be healthy again. Please, please, hockey gods, please take it easy on us for the next little while, please. Because straight up, man, even hurt, Campbell doesn't seem to be able to lose. 8-0, guys. That's incredible. That's incredible. It's getting to the point where it's ridiculous, you know? So respect is where respect has got to go, right? I did not think that Campbell was going to get us through this. When I saw those weak goals, because he had a couple weak goals that one game. Was it 2 or 1? I don't remember. There was one like early on when we took over for Freddie that I'm like, oh, watch it. Remember, I said it. I said that he could be collapsing right in front of our eyes. Now, they got the win that night, I believe. And it looks like Campbell just said, you know what? I'm not going to play like that anymore. I was nervous my first game or whatever, or like first real pressure game, and I'm not going to do that anymore. That's what Campbell's saying, apparently. So, I mean, my goodness, I can't argue with it. He certainly looks a lot more like he's potential to be a starter now. So for all you guys out there that have been saying, I'm telling you, he's got the goods, he's a starter, you're either a complete, like, lucky guy and you don't know what you're talking about, but like even a wrong clock is right twice a day. That's either you, or you saw something that I didn't see or didn't know about, because I had not seen too much of Jack Campbell. So either way, for now, absolutely, you get all the credit in the world for calling it ahead of time. Okay, I still don't think that means Freddie's bad, but what I'm saying is I'm with you in the sense that he's earning wins. He's clearly made a few just lights out saves near the end there. You know, he flails a little bit, which gets me nervous, because it's like if you miss that save, if it goes weird after that, or like a weird rebound or something, like you're way out of position for the next one. So, but if you save that first one, it doesn't really matter what happens after that, right? You can flail, you can flop a little. There's a little Patrick Waugh in that, you know what I mean? That's what he used to do a little bit. There'd be a little extra flair just to show off a little bit, you know? And certainly when it didn't go his way, it cost him. But for the most part, though, it looked good. So I love the way that Campbell taps his boys after the play each time, too. Anytime he can, right? Gives his boys a little tap there. So for now, let's roll with it, man. You know what I mean? Let's go, Jack Campbell. I love it. He's such a good dude, too. So hopefully he's not out, right? Hopefully he's not hurt. And going to a shootout against Winnipeg, tight game. I wanted to say something to show you that I know about Winnipeg too, okay? What was his name? Morrissey on defense, was it? Morrissey for Winnipeg, I believe is his name. If you want to know how to properly handle a one-on-one situation defensively in your own zone, look at what he did to William Nylander in like the first few minutes of the game or first half of the period or whatever like that. It was early on. I don't remember exactly when. Nylander goes in on a one-on-one basically with Morrissey. I think there's another D kicking off to the right, but he wasn't really part of the play. In that moment, it's a one-on-one. And dude doesn't even look at the puck. He doesn't look at Nylander's stick. He kept his eyes locked right on the chest of Nylander. He didn't hit him. He didn't elbow him. He didn't slash him. All he did was get his arms like this and just get right in the dude's way. And as soon as he tried to go away or around him, he just pushed him back and said, no, you're not going by me. Brilliant. See, guys, there are people that can play solid defense in the NHL. All right? I want to see more of that on every team, because that was a brilliant play that most people would just be more frustrated that Nylander didn't get by, that they wouldn't even notice how good he was covered by that Winnipeg defenseman. I believe it's Morrissey. You can correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. So I did want to say that, guys. You know what I mean? They got some talent on that team. We got to watch out. We got to watch out for Winnipeg, okay? So it goes to the shootout, and what a move from Spezza, though, eh? God, I love that guy. I love that guy. Oh, the way he like held up and then like started to go again, but then like held up again. Like he was just, it's like he's so calm, right? It's like Spezza really just does not give a crap about what anybody says or thinks in the last couple of years. Ever since he joined the Leafs, it's like, I don't know if it's because he's super happy to be here. I don't know if it's because he's got a chip on his shoulder that he wants to prove he's still valid or still relevant in the league. I don't know what's up with Spezza, but the guy never looks stressed. And in a moment like that, to have such control, I mean, like, you know, that's the kind of move you would expect to see a guy like Patrick Kane do, right? Kane would make it look sweeter, though. We all know Kane's got the hands. He's the legitimate, most amazing NHL stick handler I think I've ever seen, Patrick Kane. So we know he's got the moves, right? But Spezza just had that calmness that Kane would have. Because that, you know, that look of like, I'm just going to mess around. I'm going to play until you fall over, and then when you fall over, I'm just going to put it in the open net. That's what Spezza did today. Just the confidence, the cojones, the whatever you want to say, right? To just go in on a dude, look him dead in the eye, look at his, wait for him to just collapse in front of you. You mess around, you know, and then just whoop, like, oh my God. And that's what a veteran can do in this league, right? That's what a guy that's been around, you know, interviews on the treadmill back in the, or on the bike back in the day, right? You know, Spezza started all that stuff, the towel around like this. Him and his senators at the time, that's what they would do. And so all their interviews like this, right? And then Shanahan mocked him. Remember that? They did it in Detroit. They had a close-up of Shanahan. He had the towel around this thing like this, and he's moving like this. But then they panned out. He was just on his skates, just pretending. So, I mean, straight up. Love Spezza. I love the fact that that he's so calm in a situation like that. I mean, even you guys are saying that he lost control and then tried to get it settled, and it really tripped up Hellebuck. I mean, maybe that's exactly what threw him off was not expecting Spezza to be able to get control back or something like that. I don't know, but just calm, like he's been there a million times, and hey, he might have been by now. So again, guys, I mean, that's what I think, okay? I think this game is just, this series is going to be the deciding factor on who takes the North, I think. You throw Edmonton into the mix too. They're not out of it yet, for sure. I mean, those guys, also, you got to watch out for them. I'm really hoping them and Winnipeg take it to each other, man. I'd love to see that matchup. Am I right? Imagine that for a first round playoff match. Edmonton-Winnipeg right now. That'd be just insane. And it'd be good too because you'd have the West and the East kind of at the same time because it'd be us in Montreal, perhaps, you know, and then you'd have the left or the West and the East and stuff like that. So that'd be really cool. So that's kind of where I hope the playoffs end up, and that's where I think of Winnipeg tonight. They played great, and we need to watch out for them. Start watching Winnipeg games, all right? Start watching because you want to know what's going on with them. All right, maybe it'll put the pressure on them, okay? So that's what I'm going to say. I want to see what you guys are saying now. It's getting kind of late. We had a late game tonight, so I want to see what you guys are saying in the chat. Sound good? All right. Quick before you go, I want to remind you, I'm also on Twitch after every Leafs game just talking about what happened. It's seriously blowing up way bigger than the gaming stuff, so if you like NHL but you also like talking hockey, come on out after every Leafs game, only on Twitch.